What's up, everybody? It's the Best Spot Kid Smooth, and I'm back with another quick video. Man, let's finally talk about Starfield because it's finally getting an update meaningful for the console user. Yes, all the updates for Starfield up until now was dedicated to PC, FSR3, all the AMD stuff, the improvements to PC. Now we're finally getting something we've been asking for. And this is gonna be the first time I get to watch the video and whatnot. I've seen some tweets and whatnot, so it's good to see the updates. I do want to address some things, but I'll probably address it after we check out some of the clips of the whole narrative that's going on and whatnot. But I'm extremely happy with some of these updates that's going on for Starfield. I still play the game, and now I'm definitely going to go through a deep dive and probably I beat the game like maybe 3 or 4 times, a new game plus, but I started a new like game that's unrelated to New Game Plus with a different character. I'm still early into the game, and I'm now going to play it again with these new features, so I'm extremely happy about this. So let's see what they got to say on some of these things.
Hi, I'm Jess Finster, Community Director at Bethesda, and I'm here today at Bethesda Game Studios to talk to you all about the next update coming to Starfield. The team has been hard at work, so let's go chat with them to see what they've been working on. So with Update 4 on the horizon, what are some of the new features that players have to look forward to?
So we see a lot of feedback online that players really want a lot more utility and detail in our surface maps. So we took what's there, we blew it all up, and instead now we have a whole new aesthetic to the surface maps where you can see the terrain, all the detail.
Okay, this is a dope update. Because for those who used to playing and the current map was just like this makes things a lot easier, because I didn't even think they needed to go this detailed, but this is pretty good because they went literally detailed, because this you kind of have to like guess where you're going and like or try to take advantage of like fast travel and whatnot. But I think them putting this detail into the map makes things very easier. Like finally, like there would be times I would be playing Starfield and I wanted to go to a weapon shop to get like guns, to sell stuff, to get ammo, and I would literally just have to spawn to the this air station and just walk my way around until I saw something familiar. This is clutch. Now, something like this should have been in the game day one, but I'm happy they're taking an extra effort, and it's going to make the game, my new playthrough, a lot easier with these things, as far as identify where the bars are at, where the weapon shops are at, where's the armory and all that other stuff, and bases and whatnot. So this is a much appreciated update for Starfield for sure, man.
On the terrain, trees, rocks, all the structures in the loaded zone. It's a lot easier to navigate. We've also made it easier to get around the cities. You can see markers for all the shops, the enhanced boutiques, restaurants, you name it, it's all there. It's a lot easier to get around now.
With Update 4, we're also adding a bunch of gameplay options. So for that, players can really tune their experience how they prefer. We're adjusting things like capacity of vendor credits, the actual carry weight, additionally, affects to difficulty. So some of those, depending on how you play, you can actually tune to be like space combat more difficult or gun combat less difficult. It's really up to you. And depending on how you balance them, it'll change how you get XP.
That's awesome. So you're really upping the ante for players that want an even bigger challenge.
Okay. I can appreciate that. I saw some what they were doing. All right, so they're gonna reallocate how you get XP because You're gonna be able to adjust the difficulty to different things. And me, I'm a big like anti like over encumbrance. Like I loot a lot of stuff, and you know I would try to get like spacesuits and outfits and up any stat that allow me to carry as much things as possible because I hate being slowed down. I can see myself changing the settings for my capacity so I don't have to worry about way down. But by me doing that, changing the capacity scale, how much one can carry, I'm going to get less XP for some of the stuff that I do, which is respectable. That's the balanced, fair system. So honestly, I can offset that by making a combat a little bit more difficult, the space combat a little bit more difficult. And the trade-off is I don't have to worry about being over encumbered. That is a good. This game probably should be a situation where it needs to be re-reviewed. I will say that this is probably a game that needs to be re-reviewed because I feel like this game was overly hated for no reason and is only getting better for sure.
Challenge.
Yeah, and with that, we actually are adding what's called the extreme difficulty. It sits above very hard, and it really, really makes you pay attention, especially for the higher level characters.
How about ship customization? I know players are really capitalizing on all of the ship content in the game, and we've seen some really crazy stuff out there that I'm sure you guys have seen as well.
Yeah, so people love to customize their ships. Like some of the builds out there are just mind-blowing. Some beautiful, beautiful stuff. So now we're turning our attention to the inside of the ships. So we're adding a decorate mode where you can go and fully furnish and customize the interior layout of the ships, place the furniture, decorations, basically everything you can do in outpost mode. We can now do that in the ship and it's saved, and you can do that to your entire fleet. In addition to decorate mode, we're also offering a whole new set of empty habs. So basically, instead of pre-cluttered habs in the shipbuilder, we'll have a new set where there's no furniture, there's no decoration, nothing. It's a total blank slate, so our players can just kind of fill it up with their own stuff.
That's amazing. They'll really get to emulate whatever their personality showcases outside on the inside then.
Yeah, exactly.
New Game Plus. Is there anything being added to this update that helps the players after they've completed the campaign to return to the game?
Yeah, so if you're like me and you find the more you go through the Unity, the more you become the hunter, the one thing I want to do is be able to respec my traits. So we're adding that. So in case you're getting tired of Wanted or want to change your alien DNA and you really want that new dream home experience, you get to choose that when going through the Unity. In addition, you'll be able to rechange your appearance.
Really living that next second life, huh?
Exactly.
Awesome. Is there anything else that you guys want to share about this update that players have to look forward to? I mean, you've already shared a lot as it is, but...
We're focusing now on our...
Okay. Now, the whole New Game Plus thing, I'm happy they did that because the problem that I had with the New Game Plus was that it just sort of happened. It was like, man, I kind of didn't like want to like immediately do that. And I like that they're giving you options. One of the reasons why I have a completely separate new game started outside of my New Game Plus is because I was like, all right, I want to change my character like completely, start from scratch. And that's what I did. And now with this update, they're going to allow you to do that with New Game Plus. Like I first played as a male, and then I made a female character separately after I beat the game a few times, and so I can make different decisions and whatnot. So I think it's still probably respectable that I start a new game because because once you start New Game Plus, you're not going to be running into the same scenarios anymore where you have to you're not going to be seeing the same sequences where you're going to be like, all right, I'm going to make this decision this time. That kind of really requires a new playthrough altogether. But let's continue on.
Xbox Series X players with this update, we're giving them some settings where they can help prioritize between performance or visual. If they choose to prioritize performance, the target FPS will move to 60. And for players that have TVs that support VRR, they'll be able to choose between VRR 40 or VRR 60.
In addition to the
That's what we've been waiting for. Finally, a performance mode. Now, they're doing more than I anticipated them to do. All I really wanted was like just to unlock the frame rate, maybe get us 40 FPS, because I truly believe like, hey, maybe Starfield is optimized in a way where 60 FPS on Xbox is just not possible. You know what I mean? But I know 40 FPS is, maybe 45, 50. Just give us the option to unlock it. We got a VR display. We'll handle it. Now, this is the biggest update because this is the one thing we've been clamoring for. Me, I beat the game. I got so many hours into the game. I played it at 30. I played it at 60 on my PC. But majority of my game time came on the Xbox, and I actually didn't mind because I felt like it was optimized in such a way. Being 30 FPS didn't bother me as much as I thought it would. It played well. The gunplay was well. The quality of their motion blur was A1, so it didn't feel like juddery. So I had caved on this idea of 60 or nothing, right? Because I enjoyed the hell out of Starfield. So the issue now is people are like, oh, well, I told you so. Oh, if you're happy about the 60 FPS update, then no, there was like the narrative now is if you were like happy that Starfield was 30 FPS when it launched, then you shouldn't be celebrating 60 FPS. I don't understand that logic. Now, me personally, I said several times, like, I think Starfield, the only beef I had with it is that there was no performance mode and whatnot in the load times. But like, sure, if it's 60 FPS, then I'm going to play that 60 FPS. I don't think why it got to be now that they have a 60 FPS option or a 40 FPS option, that like, why it got to be one or the other. We didn't have an option before. But the thing is, we were supposed to be ashamed for enjoying the game because it wasn't 60 FPS. But now that it's a 60 FPS option, we gotta hide our happiness or excitement for it. I think that's a stupid like flex. I'm happy that it's getting the 60 FPS mode. And yes, I was actually satisfied with its 30 FPS mode. I'm even happier with this 60 FPS mode because I would have preferred it at launch. This is good. This is great because I have no problem playing Starfield a few more times, and I'm going to replay it through again on my Xbox Series X in this performance mode. I'm curious to see what the resolution targets is, so I might toggle between the 40 and 60, but I'm happy that they're able to do this. And a lot of people also trying to call out Todd Howard because they said, oh, it's a creative decision. And in Todd Howard's interview, when they confirmed the FPS, he said that they had the game running at 60 FPS. In some areas it hit 60, some areas it's close to 60. But they locked it to 30 for consistency. So you know what that tells me? The game is not a locked 60 FPS. It's not going to be like this pinpoint super locked 60 FPS experience. It means we're going to hit 60 FPS at some points. We're probably going to have a fluctuating FPS, but it's not a locked 60 FPS. And he preferred consistency, so he locked it at 30. So I don't think they were wrong with their creative decision to lock it at 30. They want to master what they did within that 30 FPS budget. And now that they've gotten to the point where they're comfortable, they can now open the game up. You know, I'm not going to be super harsh on developers for a 60 FPS. Sure, I like it. I prefer it. It should always be an option. But I'm not going to be like, oh, well, why now? No, I'm happy that we got it. Just like I hated that Redfall didn't launch at 60 FPS because I don't think Redfall is as dynamic, is as large of a scope of a game as Starfield. So that's why I had beef with Redfall. And it didn't look nowhere near as good. Starfield, there were exceptions, but let's go.
Couple of quality of life updates that we're introducing. One of them is you can now toggle dialogue cameras off. So instead of getting that sort of focus zoom in on whatever NPC you're talking to, it just stays in normal default camera mode. It's a little more immersive that way. Some players may prefer that.
Love it.
In addition to that, we're making the container and barter menus a bit more usable. We've added some tabs along the top, so it's easier to sort of see what container or what inventory you're looking at, whether it's yourself or your ship. And it's just easier to navigate. Basically, inventory and item management, it's a small thing, but it actually, I think, makes it a lot nicer.
So Tim, we just talked to Joe and Isfan a little bit about Update 4 and what's coming, but is there anything else that you want to talk about that's down the horizon?
So the team is working on our first land vehicle, so you can drive around on planets. Obviously, we're working on more quests and the massive Shattered Space expansion.
That's all very exciting. What about creations? Anything you can share there?
I think we mentioned it earlier this year, but we've sent out our beta toolkit to verified creators, so hopefully more information on that soon.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Tim.
Hey, no problem, Jess.
That's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for joining.
Okay. This update is massive. You know, this is a proper update before we get the Shattered Dimensions. But so right now, to all the crybabies that's like, oh, there's no Land Rovers, no vehicles to drive. They're putting Land Rovers in the game. Later down the line, probably going to be some time before Shattered Dimensions. You know, they got an update for the creatives for the mods and stuff like that. But I respect this update because it's a meaningful update. You're gonna have the performance mode, the 60 FPS mode, the 40 FPS mode, VRR mode. You're gonna have the upgraded maps that's more detailed, that allows you to get where you need to go easier. The ship management, the creativity options, the difficulty settings, and Starfield is loaded with a lot of content right now. Now they didn't launch their expansion yet, but according to a lot of these reviewers who dropped the game after 60 plus hours or 100 plus hours, they didn't beat the game, but that's a lot of content to be playing 60 and 100 hours and stuff like that. So this is worth picking back up. And I think this update is dropping soon. Let me see if if they confirm it in this video. I know this update is dropping soon.
Joining us and for your continued feedback. Just a reminder, the update is available on Steam Beta today and will be available on all platforms later this month. So we'll see you in the stars.
Yeah, so the update, I believe they finalized the date as like May 15th or something like that. But I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I'm really excited about this update. It's worth the wait. A lot of people are hating on it. Your usual suspects. The Red Dragons, the Knicks, and a lot of people trying to protect a lot of the things that they said early in the year. But I'm gonna say one thing, and I'm gonna say this definitively. They try to put a lot of games out to like kill Starfield, or they try to claim all these games is better than Starfield. Everybody wanted to cling to Baldur's Gate, but I hear nothing about Baldur's Gate 3. Nothing. Yes, it was Game of the Year. But you know why PlayStation people claimed on it? Because they didn't have Starfield, and because Baldur's Gate launched first on PlayStation before it launched on Xbox, so they treated it like an exclusive, right? But at the end of the day, right, 6 months later, what game is people still talking about? Whether they like it or not, it's not Baldur's Gate 3. It is Starfield. People, like, even when you talk hate on it, that's the game you're still choosing. So I don't understand what the hate is for a lot of these dudes. I really don't know what the issue is, but why people have like this deep hate for Xbox and for Starfield. They really holding on to it, and they're riding with that. But it's crazy. The gaming again, like I said in my last video, it's been dry. The morale's been down, and it's just been not like fun. And now we're starting to get meaningful updates, meaningful news, meaningful marketing beats, and it seems like it's coming from the Xbox side, and people really can't appreciate stuff. And not even me. I can't even appreciate it. Like, Xbox about to have an amazing showcase, and I can't even fully appreciate it because I feel like because of their the way that they look extremely weak, and the whole PlayStation stuff, putting all their stuff on like PlayStation before fully realizing what they have and what they are. So even I feel slighted, but I'm not gonna downplay the Starfield update. Starfield was my favorite game. It's my personal game of the year for last year, and it just got better. They literally made the game I liked so much last year much better. So I'm probably going to put just as much hours in Starfield in 2024 that I did in 2023. Guys, let me know what you think of Starfield and this new update. Will you be playing it? Did you even play Starfield when it came out last September? And is this update going to make you go back to it? For those who didn't play, are you willing to play now with these quality of life changes? Xbox is the best box. I'm in the best spot. Good night. Good morning. If you're on the other side of the globe, I'm out of here. Peace.